Yo, y'all like my new studio? Hot, ain't it? Hey, when you are on a public forum and your capability to send your energy digitally to other people, there's a little bit of responsibility involved. In other words, I got to be able to report the good, the bad, and the ugly. But since I don't report news of certain events, I have to specifically tell you personal experiences of what's going on. All right, so what I mean by the good, the bad, and the ugly, I probably already did a couple of Joker posts and probably already said that 1 or 2, 3 bad news is from the last post before this one. And I really don't like mentioning the ugly because, you know, you kind of throw people's positivity out. Like, you may have had a great day and you might be one of my subscribers, and I mess around and make you think of something that probably wasn't even on your radar, and that throws your whole damn day off. That's kind of unfair, ain't it? So sometimes the world is going to have ups and downs because, like I said, culture is parts per billion, and everybody's going to feel that on their own frequency that they're right based on their level of experience and level of education. But how do you, I guess the question I'm trying to pose, how do you get everybody on a frequency that's the same but freedom of choice is still there? How do you do that? You know what I mean? Like back in the day, early forms of American government, politicians worked for the city and the state. Now, I'm not sure what the pay type was, but I think the people who the politician represented paid for that person. Not the government, the state. And the reason why I think it's fair and accurate, because you're representing, let's say you take Illinois or Missouri, whatever one you want to choose. Let's say you're representing, I don't know, so what, 17, 30,000 some people? Even at $1 a person a month, that person pays for you $12 a year. $12. And they give you $30 a month. You're making $30,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not much to ask whether they voted for you or not. The biggest thing I'm looking at is your ass won. So therefore, whether they were your constituents voluntarily or involuntarily, you won. So $12 out of my check for one whole year, however long you serve, times $8 should get me with the freak I want. Does that make sense? All right. So let me, because y'all know I'm all over the place, but I'm in a great mood and I'm trying to share an experience with you real quick. When it comes to government and policies, most of us don't know anything about government policies, all right? But policies are what get you certain privileges, all right? So policy equal privileges. So when you think about the people that represent you from your city or your state or your town or whatever it may be, the government pays that bill. Not you. Well, you indirectly you do because of taxes and collective taxes. But wouldn't it be a little bit smarter that if the people who are in the state, who are employed, pay this person to do their bidding? Like, if your job was based on how many people had jobs because they could pay you for the job you're doing, wouldn't you do a better job? You know what I'm saying? Like, just think about it. 30,000 people representing one senator or governor or whatever position you want to call it. And each one of those 30,000 people per year pay $12 toward this guy and his cabinet. Toward this guy and his cabinet. Now think about this. The average person makes about $25,000 to $30,000 a year. That's horrible. But people who are keeping their head above water, which are mainly federal jobs, 45 to 70, sometimes $112,000 a year. Now just dig this. I mean, dig it, baby. Imagine if your governor or your mayor actually got paid directly from the city revenue. And the city revenue allotted him or her $12 a person. That means per constituent, per capita, per person located in the city. And that's $12 a year, but that's times 30,000 damn people. You getting the math now? Yeah, man, it's like $720,000 a year, easily. That's a lot of goddamn dough. Now, what is that dough value? That dough can fix up schools, fix up properties, make shopping centers more let's say, if you're shipping stuff in, you can probably get things here better, more efficiently for your constituents. So the little bit of money that they pay per year makes their quality of life a little bit better compared to the collective government system, because then that means some senators, some mayors don't even have to work and they still can get a check. See, here, it's based on per year. So if they say, oh man, he fucking up, we're gonna lower his ass down to 3 cents a month. Can you imagine that shit? From $1 to 3 cents because he or she was fucking up? Do you think they will get on their job next month to get their check? Yeah, they probably would. I don't think mayors and senators would last long. They would probably be having heart attacks galore, because one moment you're getting $30,000 a month and the next moment you're getting daggone $15,000. And you still got to do what you was doing the month prior. So you better plan well, you know what I mean? But I think the main thing I'm trying to get at is, how did our power get taken away? How, as we as a collective, in the movie Bug's Life, we're the ants, and the powers that be are the crickets. How did our powers get taken away? You know how our powers got taken away? Fear, man. Fear. You know how many people on this planet have a fear of death? It's like, yeah. Why wouldn't you be scared of death? But you don't know what death is. I know this sounds crazy. You got an idea what death is, but you're absolutely sure what a milkshake is. You're absolutely sure what sex is. And you damn sure know what ass whooping is. And a good ass whooping can equal death. But you have no real idea. Only thing you know of death is, I think I stop breathing and I go to sleep. It can either be a painful way to go or a pleasant go to sleep and don't wake up again way to go. But either way, fear has captured our minds and our hearts and keeps us from moving forward. So I'm trying to figure out, and this is based on a scientific experiment. People say you can put a frog in boiling water and that frog will acclimate its body to that water till death. It won't even be like, oh shit, this water getting hot. It will acclimate itself to boiling point till all of its internal systems shut down. So is that what's going on with us right now? Because if it is, I'm trying to figure out, when did we get in the water? When did we get in this boiling ass water? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I can't place my hand on it. So in order to put your hand on where problems lie, don't you have to go to the beginning of the timeline? Now, you're going to come up with your own summary, but I'm just putting, my purpose here is to get you to think more in depth. For some of y'all that is probably 17 to 20 or 35 to 27 to 35, and you may have a college degree, high school education, or doctorate or master's, and you may feel as though you're at a level that your education or your background cannot be superseded by a motherfucker like me in a minivan. That's fine. But I do have a wide range of variety of experience that I can offer to, 1, people who have never left their neighborhood, 3, who've never been outside the country, United States, 4, who've never been outside their state or their city, 5, who have not been on multiple plane rides to multiple countries that don't have running water or electricity, 6, the fact of the matter that I've faced death more than 5 times. Oh man, well, it's more than that, but I'm just trying to make it sound a little better. I'm trying to keep you in a good mood. And I think I got a good wide range of variety of experience to offer. So this is what I'm saying. How did we end up in this boiling water? And how did we not notice that this water was boiling? Because once things start dying around you, pretty soon you got to wait until the water boils itself out. And now you're dealing with the direct surface that caused that transference of heat to that water. That's going to suck, because I don't want to tap dance like that. I want to stop it while I notice that the water's boiling. Am I going? Stay on target? All right. So, going to the beginning of the timeline, what was the first thing that was established? Written language. Okay, but they go to the point to show us that, well, written language was established after the Bible. Huh? So let me get this right. The communication log of moral welfare, of morality, was written before we actually established ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and how you do? I'm fine, and so is me. What? I don't get it. How is it that religion was established before language? I think communication and language was established, and because that communication and language was kind of off every now and then, they decided to put a law in place, which was called religion. And I don't think religion was supposed to graduate as far as it has. I think it's a great guideline, but do you really need religion to do the right thing? Do you really need religion to make the right decision? Because the way I see it right now, and I'm just going to stay on this, just a pitch, just a little tad. The way I see it right now is everybody using religion to get an advantage, taking advantage of people. Because just like death, the outcome of religion is unknown as well. Like I said, you know what a milkshake tastes like. You know what an ass whooping does. You know what I'm saying? But you kind of have a small idea what death is like. And so that fear has allowed us, I was about to say you, us to be suckered time and time again. But once you clear your mind of that, now you're left with politics. You know, northern pole, southern pole, the axis on which life exists, spin around and mold itself and make decisions. You get what I'm saying? Politics, like hide and go seek. I'm on base. and the true story about politics is you got two wings of politics: east wing, west wing, red wing, blue wing. Wings do the same thing, man. They flap. They either increase lift or decrease lift or induce lift. They steer you one way or steer you the wrong way. But wings both do the same thing, unless you fry them up and eat them. You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at religion and then politics, you're starting to see where this stove and this big boiling pot of water came from. There's somebody on the outside of that stove changing the temperature and add more people to this melting pot. Remember, that's what America was called. They used to call it the melting pot. Now think of this. When you was a child, you didn't think nothing bad about the word melting pot. But the fact that you want to call something that's supposed to be positive a melting pot. Now I know what our definition was. Our definition of melting pot was it's different cultures, different organizations, different religions, different backgrounds of people all mending and molding together as one. Man, that's a casserole. That's potato salad. That's soup. You know, like chunky beef stew. And in every stew, there's your favorite ingredient. Some people gonna eat the vegetables, some people gonna eat the potatoes, but a lot of people gonna eat that meat. So I'm trying to share this thought and I just can't get myself on track, because what I'm trying to say is, why are we being separated in so many different factions? I mean, so many different factions. First you have your race, then you have your religion, then you have your politics. Now they're bringing gender in the game. Now we got social media, which is, that's not my Facebook friends, that's that motherfucker's Facebook friend. Or I don't even talk with him. You know? And then what's next? Now, I mean, we're already separated on the collegiate level, where, you know, master's degrees look at motherfuckers like me with a bachelor like y'all ain't shit. And us bachelor's degrees look at people with associates like, man, you need to hurry up and get your bachelor's. And motherfuckers and associates look at people in high school like, y'all motherfuckers don't even know what college is all about. I just think the categories that we use, man, are horrible. It's horrible. Like, this dude just drove past me in a Ford Explorer. All his windows are down. He's got a big crack across his windshield. He's a white guy. And he just flicked me off. And I smiled because I was recording, couldn't break character. But I'm like, what caused him to do that, man? I'm driving 75 miles an hour at a safe speed. I'm behind a vehicle that says, caution, God's children on board, and it's full of carpets. Okay, that's creepy. Let me slide the fuck over. You're gonna see this van on this side. It says God's children aboard, and it's full of carpets. Watch closely. But anyway, I think us having all these different categories makes people feel individually special. But when it all boils down to it, man, we're human beings. We live, we die. And I think life is worth living, and you need to live it to its fullest. If people are down for you, regardless of what their color religion is, man, take care of that person. And then maybe their color and religion will go away. You know what I'm saying? Question yourself why people hang around you. Sometimes ask yourself, like, what do I bring to this person's life? Why are they hanging around me? And if you can answer that question, that probably is a good friend. But if you can't answer that question, on why the 5 W's of who, what, when, and where, why a person is in your life, you might need to watch this video again. I want you to hear how quiet it is where I work at. Now, you can tell by the ceiling tiles who I work for, but listen how quiet it is. Hey, can anybody hear me? Anybody? Shit crazy, ain't it? Hello? Riddle me this. How is it that Microsoft Word does not contain the word heterosexual, but it contains homosexual and nigger? That's a fact. Try it.